Okay, quick little review here. Um, so yeah, Predator, Killer of Killers. I just want to say that it was okay. I mean, it really wasn't something that was like spectacular or like anything like the first original two movies or stuff like that. But I mean, it was kind of. But for the violent part, yeah, it was kind of there. It had the violence and everything, and the goriness, but what was different is that it had different size Yautjas and stuff like that. They must be different species of the Yautja. Like I'm seeing here, for example, like um, the first one, because it's split into like three stories. Because I mean, I don't want spoilers if you haven't seen it yet. It basically is kind of like time traveling or something like that. Or I don't know if it's time traveling, but they seem to be capturing anybody who defeats one of their Yautjas, and they would capture them and freeze them into a cryotube or something like that. It's kind of like aliens, where they sleep in the cryotubes and wait like 40, 50 years while they travel. Uh, so it seems like they're freezing these people, these warriors basically, who are worthy, and they basically take them up into their planet and awaken them once they reach their planet and stuff like that. And basically, towards the end of the movie, you'll see that they have them basically fight each other. The whole goal is for them to fight each other first, and whoever wins that battle between each other will fight the leader of all the Yautjas. So that's basically where what this entire movie was setting up with the three different stories. There's like three split stories in different time eras and locations. So you had one that was like Nordic, where she was like Viking or Valkyrie, and which was, I mean, the fighting parts was kind of cool, but it was a little annoying, I have to say, because it was like that strong, powerful woman character again, yet again, that's like just annihilating everything in her path, and no flaws at all, like nothing. Like she's just the best. She's bad at everything she does, and nobody can tell her otherwise. And she's just like the super warrior, and untouchable. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like she's defeating giant built warriors, who've been training all their lives too, and she's just easily slicing through everybody, and she's having some of her warriors getting taken down, but she's the only one that survives. So it doesn't make sense. And then the predator, the Yautja that she comes to face with is ginormous. I mean, this thing is huge. I was like, what the? How is she gonna beat that damn thing? And he just rips through everybody, yet he can't beat her for some reason. And she outsmarts him and everything, outwits him, outsmarts him. Like, and she just, uh, her agility is quicker. Like, I mean, she is smaller. I mean, that is an advantage when you're smaller, but that she was just too. What's the words I want to use? I don't know, but it was just ridiculous. Like she didn't get hurt at all, much like at all, and she was just easily beating everything in her way. So that was kind of annoying. Like it was like, how is that possible? And look at her age; she looks very old. I was like, how the hell is this 80-year-old woman just slicing through everybody and beating a giant Yautja? I mean, this thing was huge, and of course, he's been training his whole life, since birth, because that's what they do. The Yautjas, that's all they're built for. That's what they are. They're warriors. They're hunters. So, and they basically fight and hunt for honor. So, anyways, that first part, when you watch it, if you haven't seen it already, or if you have seen it already, you will definitely get annoyed. Um, I mean, I'm all. Don't forget me wrong. I'm all for a strong character role, but when it's done like that, it's highly illogical. I mean, like, come on, dude. There's no way a female warrior at that size and that age can just be the way she is. It was impossible. Like, it's nowhere near possible. But anyways, moving on. That was annoying. All right, so moving on. Now the next part, I have to say, was definitely the best part. of the entire film or whatever it is comic. It's like comics. It was like in a comic way style, but it was really good. Like it's showing it right now on right here. You're looking at it right now. In this little trailer, I have the trailer like rolling, just just to make this interview look cool. I mean, this review look cool. um, but that second part was definitely way better, 20 times better. I gotta say, like that was something I wanted to see in this, and I got it. Like I wanted to actually see because Predators. What was the movie? Predators. When they're on their planet, and you have that yakuza guy with his samurai sword, his katana, and he faces off with the Predator, of course, and of course he, yeah, doesn't win, but I wanted to see something like that. I just didn't want to see it in that movie. It just wasn't the movie that was for that. Now this set it up perfectly because it was in I want to say like maybe 16th century Japan. It was it's very old Japan, very old school ancient Japan, and when samurai and the samurai and ninjas was really a thing, and so you have this Yautja that's hunting these guys now, ninjas. And there's like two brothers, I think. Yeah, they were like two brothers, and they were basically fighting for the honor of their father because their father was like the head master, I guess. So they wanted to please him, so they used to face off at each other to make him to impress him. Uh, or something like that to win this like samurai outfit. I think it was like a reward, like there was something he had that he would only give to them if one of them proves themselves worthy of it, and they used to fight each other with real swords. um, so anyways, getting on to that, they get older now, and they're much older, and one of them is like he's obviously the one who succeeded in pleasing his father, so he basically was like the head of his dojo or something like that. And his other brother, who wasn't very worthy enough, was like lost out, like, and he comes back for revenge or something like that, or to prove his worth now. Uh, and so you got kind of seen some clips of it. He basically just annihilates everybody that's there, like just wipes out everyone. And then finally comes to fight his brother, but I don't know if he really wanted to kill him, but he just wanted to prove his worth. Like he wanted to at least get a cut on him at least, to show that he is worthy of being a samurai or something like that. So this Yautja is basically watching him, watching him go at it, and then finally decides to hunt them. And now they come together as brothers again, and they're fighting off this Yautja. Now here's the funny thing: these guys barely was winning against this Yautja, but yet you had that Viking woman that was just just easily whooping that thing's ass. It didn't make sense. You see, that's where everybody was like, "What the hell's going on here?" Um, but that was good because that was actually more logical. Like definitely, and this Yautja was pretty tall. He was more slim and more agile, and he was definitely able to be more acrobatic than the previous Predator, who was just ginormously huge and bulky. Like he's just too big. Um, the weapons, I gotta say, was pretty cool too. Like this Yautja who was facing off with the ninjas or the samurais, whichever they were. He had this, like, it was kind of like a spear, but like also split into like a giant axe or something. Like it would split and just rip bodies in half. Like that thing was crazy. Um, and then the first one I forgot to mention too. The first Predator, he had like some gadget. I don't know what it was actually. It was like some type of shield thing or something like that that just uh like would shoot out a supersonic wave or something like that and just rip through anything that was in its path. Um, which was pretty cool though. I like that device. That whatever that was, that thing was pretty cool. I like this comic style movie, I guess you want to say. It was pretty good. All right, now getting to that part, this part right here that they're showing. Now we're jumping into the final part of the characters that they're like capturing, basically. Um, so the second part was really good. They defeat this Predator finally, and then they get captured, obviously. um, or one of them. I think it was just one of them. Yeah, it was one of them. Because that's right. Because the brother that was the one that won his father's honor was basically the one that got killed. Yeah, he like finally died or something. So then, anyways, on to the third part. Now we're up to the 1940s in World War II. So we have this other character who was basically like an engineer, and he joins well, I don't think he joins. I think he was obviously drafted. So he's obviously he's in the Navy or something like that, and he's fixing airplanes. He's fixing the fighter planes. So um, uh, I think his commander or something like that basically wants him to fix his plane, this one specific plane, and if he could fix it, he basically will be able to one. He'll be the one to pilot it because this dude right here, he wants to be a pilot so bad, but he never succeeded in actually building or fixing up an engine or stuff like that. So um, he finally does so in a way when he really need like it was like an emergency because he saw that something was happening and it's impossible that some of the planes were being shot down in a weird way, and he was like, something is wrong here, like this is not human. And he has like this piece that landed, or did he how did he get the piece? I forgot what it was. It was one of those pieces from the Predator's ship that actually shoots out like an arrow with a chain and can rip planes apart. That device was pretty cool, and the ship that he was driving was pretty cool. And this Yautja looked totally different. This was a totally different looking Yautja. Like, he had no dreads, nothing. He was kind of bald, like you just seeing him right there. He was kind of bald and looked more like a cyberpunk type of character. Like, it was pretty cool though. It was pretty badass. Um, so the weapon he had too was pretty badass. Like, it would shoot out with a chain, of course, and like it was kind of like Scorpion. It was like the plane had like these Scorpion devices. It was pretty cool. It would just rip planes apart, shred them, and stuff like that. So, um, anyways, this young guy finally becomes a pilot, and he basically flies the plane that he fixes to help save his fellow soldiers and stuff like that. Um, so he basically finally takes down this Yautja who's in that ship right there. He basically takes him down already. Gets captured and all that stuff. So now, getting into the basically like the weaponry and stuff like that and the gadgets, I really liked them. Everything was cool about that. I really liked this movie for the most part. The first part really wasn't. I didn't really like it that much, but I was kind of laughing at some of the scenes, and I was like, "Come on!" Like, but then when it went to the second part with the samurais, and then to the third part, which was okay. The third part was pretty cool. It was okay. It wasn't that bad. It was good action. The second part was definitely my favorite, like I said. Then the part where finally they get to their planet now, which was pretty interesting. I was like, now this is something I want to see. This was pretty cool. Like, they finally went onto the planet, and it looks like a Yautja planet. It looks very, very sinister and very crazy looking, and it was just really, really badass. And then you had the leader of all the Yautjas. I think he had xenomorph skeletons that he was wearing for like a cape. That's if I'm not mistaken, I think that's what that was. And he had a lot of them, like a lot of their tails as this cape, which was freaking badass though. And obviously that's what made him leader. I mean, because he took down the most vicious killer in all of the universe, which is a xenomorph. Now, I think they might be leading into Alien versus Predator. I think that's what they might be leaning into now with this like universe, and now they're trying to like pair the universes. I think that's what might be happening. Maybe. I really think they're leading up into that. So, anyways, when they're in the fourth part, which is in their planet, they have them face off each other now. So the Yautja basically speaks in his language, but they have like these devices around their neck that will blow them up if they don't obey. And also has like these speakers that translate what he's saying into their language, which was pretty cool. Like, it was because all three of them don't speak the same language. One was English, and one was Japanese, and then one was Viking I want to say Nordic, but I'm not. I might be like yeah, it's Nordic. So which is a very ancient language. So, oops, my bad. I just hit my camera. Um, so they face off each other and stuff like that, and the World War II kid is basically trying to get them all together and fight together because he's like, this is stupid, man. Why are we fighting each other? This is what they want. We shouldn't be giving them what they want. We should be fighting together so we can get the hell out of here, you know. So, but they didn't understand him yet because language barriers. But then they come to she comes to realize the Viking warrior, she comes to notice that because she had a son that was killed, and she looks at him and when he's doing something like gestures, and she's realizing, shit, I think we should be more honorable and fight together and stuff like that. So they basically start fighting together. They come together and start to try to plan their escape. Um, they fight the leader together, which was successful. But as they're leaving, right, they hijack a ship, one of their ships, the soldier, and the pilot or soldier, whatever you want to call him, the World War II kid. He basically gets into their ship. He finally activates it. He's basically trying to fly it. So he gets it off the air, into the air and stuff like that, and they're basically about to take off, but they catch it with with like this giant chain thing again. They catch it, and they're basically trying to pull it. They're gonna pull it back. So, the Viking lady decides. I forget their names. So I want to call them by their names, but I don't remember. Because I watched it like a week ago or 2 weeks ago when it came out. No, it was like a week ago. So yeah. So they the leader of the ship, the leader of the Yauchas basically, has them catch it with like one of these chain things, like from the other predator ship, and they're about to pull it back, but she's like, take off, get out of here, get yourselves out of here, and she sacrifices herself, with of course the female role, right? She sacrifices herself, slides down there, and then she gets herself captured just to help them escape. So now they escape, but as they're escaping through the atmosphere, the leader of the Yauchas is like, it's time to hunt. So they all, dude, it was like hundreds and hundreds of ships just taking off and going after them and following them. So I was like, yeah, I don't think they're gonna make it. um, but that was the end of it. Oh yeah, and then at the end of it, the very very end was a post credit. Um, they're walking the Viking lady into the cryotube where she's frozen, and they're basically walking with her to place her somewhere and to store her in a giant massive storage they have of all these people that they have frozen, or beings. Then they come up to the girl from Prey. I was like, oh shit, that's her from Prey. When I saw that, I was like, no way. So they have her frozen too? Wow, okay. So I'm assuming I don't know if they're gonna lead up to that, like with a prequel, uh, and a sequel to Prey. I don't know if they're gonna do anything like that, so they could show how that happened. But who knows? I mean, but it did happen, obviously. So interesting to see what they're gonna do next with that. So yeah, I mean, that's basically everything I could remember from watching it about a week ago. So I mean, it was pretty good. It was pretty good for the most part. Like I said, I don't want to say it was like some super masterpiece because it really wasn't. But the second part, the second part with the samurais was definitely really good. I really like that, and I was like, now that's what I want to see, and I wanted to see a samurai take, showdown with Yauchas, but in their time and in their location, in their place in Japan, and that's what they did, and I was like, good. Now that's something I wanted to see. The second part, I did kind of want to see a World War II action, and we got that, but I wasn't expecting, a ship hunting down warplanes. And a totally different Yalcha. Like, he looked totally different. which was cool though. He looked badass. I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of changing Yautjas that much. And when I saw him, I was like, you know what? That's pretty fucking cool. I like that. He looks like a cyberpunk, maniac. Kind of like the Bane of Yautja. What's next? They gotta have a Batman Yautja. Uh, so, uh, I don't know. Where should I leave it off? I guess that's pretty much it. So, I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, it's definitely worth a go. I mean, it's definitely worth watching. It's if you're a huge Predator fan, I suggest watching this one. It's actually pretty good for the most part. The first part you might not like. That's fine because the rest of it is actually really good. So you'll be pleased with that at least. I was actually satisfied with it for the most part, and I would actually watch it again. Definitely for the samurai part, and that's about it. So I want to give this movie. I'm gonna give this about a 3.5 to a 4. I should. Yeah, I want to give it a full. 3.5. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 because the first part was obviously not that great and was kind of like too, you know, LGBTQ. I mean, I'm nothing against that, but it was like obviously that's what it was. It was woke as fuck. But that's the only thing that was like not really worthy of like 2 thumbs up. But the rest of it, yeah, I'll give it 2 thumbs up. So that's gonna be it for this review. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you've seen it, let me know what you think about it. Did you really like it? Did you think it was cool? And did you think the first part was okay? I mean, I would like to hear your opinion. So yeah, that's gonna be it, and I'll see you next time.